Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 283 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor and Damon. How's it going, guys?
Hey.
283.
Yeah.
Getting close.
A weird number.
There was some discussion, Damon, in the Discord about how you like busted into last episode. You did the Kool-Aid Man thing,
Yeah.
And I somebody said that I need to start playing like a sound for that.
I guess you could.
I mean, I was all ready to do it this episode just in case you had to come late because I know you had some sports stuff you had to do. But I had the Kool-Aid Man, oh yeah, sound effect.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that though.
I don't know. Is that a copyright thing? I don't even know.
It has to be. It absolutely has to be. Why would it not be? I feel.
Hey, but if that was the case, like every sound effect you hear out of anything could be.
But here's the thing, Trevor.
Yeah.
You live in Canada, so this doesn't affect you as much. But like for real, sure, you could go ahead and do that. But in the U.S., no.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where it was from, to be totally honest with you.
You could record your own Kool-Aid Man sound. I feel like Tom could do a very good Kool-Aid Man sound.
Oh, okay. I could try that. Yeah, that's
There
actually
you
not a bad idea. I was just trying to think of what I would play for you busting in.
I don't think "Oh Yeah" can be copyrighted.
No. Yeah. No.
So,
I think maybe they may have the voice actor in that particular soundbite, but you're right. I guess if you did your own, they can't stop you from doing that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That sounded like Randy Macho Man Savage. I don't know if that sounded like Kool-Aid Man.
Well, I mean, Kool-Aid Man had a very it was a very deep voice. Like,
yeah, Steve,
yeah, but they're too distinct. That was definitely more Randy Macho Man Savage. So here's the thing: is anyone going to watch this fight next week?
What?
Are you watching this fight next week?
What fight next week?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
This is these are really the times where I just want to just log off and just be like,
what are you talking? What are you
talking about? You are living in a different world than us. You know that, right?
I'm not. The Earth still spins the same. We're on the same
What
planet.
fight are you talking about?
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Oh, is that finally happening?
Yes, on Netflix. So it's kind of free.
I was going to watch it when it originally was going to happen, and then it got delayed.
Then Mike Tyson got sick
because Mike Tyson is old, but I still think Mike Tyson will destroy him. But that's neither here nor
there. I'm excited to see this because one, it's free because I don't think I'd pay for it, but you're going to tell me it's free on Netflix. I'm in.
I wanted to watch the hot dog eating contest that they did on Netflix.
I did. I watched that.
Okay, but I was annoyed they didn't do it on 4th of July though. I would
agree with that.
Yeah, because it happened outside of 4th of July. I was like, all right, well, I don't want to watch this.
And here's the other thing, it used to be there was this, where you had to watch TV when it happened, right? When you had the sliding channel changer, right, from cable, you had to watch TV when it happened.
Yeah.
And then this glorious thing came out and you didn't, right? And before TiVo, I had Replay TV, which was far superior, by the way. I'm just going to tell you that. And it was the best thing ever. You hit one button, it would skip all commercials. Okay, so we got there, and now the problem is, my Amazon has commercials again because I just absolutely refuse to pay for that money, right? But the other problem that you have now is if you don't watch stuff right away, it will be ruined. You cannot avoid it being ruined. I don't care that, let's say Trevor doesn't care about this fight at all. Trevor, you're going to see something about that fight over that weekend if you just are on the internet in general.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yes. Yeah.
YouTube Shorts does that to me all the time where it throws stuff at me, and it's I didn't want to see that. Even,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching this fight because of that.
Yeah. I've been meaning, I was waiting for Agatha All Along to finish on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I was going to binge watch it. But then, same problem is, I start seeing clips of it and it's ugh. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You can't avoid that.
So you have to commit to.
It's a shame for television because even TV shows are doing it to you in the TV show. Okay, so you're telling me that, sometimes they give you that next week stuff and you'd be all right, that's fine. It's annoying. But now you're giving me the season. This is what's happening in the season. Oh, so that person from episode 2 is not going to die because you have them in the last scene. Baking shows, notoriously terrible. Watching the Christmas cookie shows, right, which we love. But your little clip in the beginning shows me every single cookie. Why do I need to watch? The show is about the cookies.
It's about the drama, Damon. It's not about the cookies.
It's about the cookies, man.
This is why I always loved Arrested Development, because they always did the next time on Arrested Development, and it never showed up next time on Arrested Development. Like, that was always really funny to me as a joke, because they would do that and then it would never be in the next episode. Like,
it's just they ruin shows this way. But I have seen a fair amount of good TV lately. Vox Machina's, the season's done, which is, again, any D&D fan, if you're not watching that show, like, or even just fantasy, you're missing out. Dragon Prince is still pretty good. That's coming back, I think, in December. I'm hopeful for the last season because I love the show, but it's getting a little long. It's getting a little long in the tooth. And then Cobra Kai is coming back. Outer Banks was terrible. I have all my friends saying that they love Outer Banks. It's terrible.
I've never watched that show.
It's like the Goonies, but even like,
but not good.
But not good. Like, too much like drama, like, and not drama in a good way, but just like silly nonsense drama. That I was like, this show could have been the next Goonies. Yeah, like that sort of stuff. But it could have been like the Goonies, and it started out pretty well, So I don't know.
Can I say something controversial?
Yeah,
I don't love the Goonies. It's an okay movie.
You're just a jerk. I don't even know what else to say about that.
I'm just being honest with you. I never got into it. It was just fine to me.
Yeah, you're a jerk. I don't know what else to say.
See, it's fine. It's fine. It is.
But I don't like Nighttime Before Christmas or whatever that.
Well, I don't like that movie either. But it's just
Goonies, I don't know how you could not like as.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just don't love it as much as everybody else. I'm fine with it. It's good.
Hold on. So let's get everything out on the table here. So I'm 51. Trevor, how old are you?
45.
And Tom, how old are you?
About to be 40.
Exactly. And that's why. And that's an end of story. That's why.
I watched it when I was a kid, though. I mean, it's not like...
You watched it when you were a kid, but it was already old.
Well, that's... Yeah, a little bit.
So there's that.
I do get that because my brother is around the same age as you, Tom. And we have the same kind of thing where, like, there was things like me growing up through the 80s. I was exposed to a lot more things than he was, because by the time he was old enough to like really acknowledge those things, they were, it was older movies, it was reruns, it was, he wasn't like getting it as it was coming into media. So it wasn't hitting him the same way as it was hitting me. And so I get that. There is, it's not a generational gap, but it is definitely, there is
it's
an
big
age
enough.
Yeah. We do notice, like, I notice it all the time where it's like, if I'm talking to somebody and you can kind of figure out, it's like, hey, you clearly didn't live through the 80s and like all these shows that came out in the 80s and early 90s as well. And, how they kind of like formed our, I don't know what to describe it.
G.I. Joe was awesome, right? I watched it before school on a black and white TV because that's all we had in the kitchen. And that show rocked. But to watch it now, it's okay.
Yeah. And you see, the funny thing for me is that at that time, like, G.I. Joe wasn't my vibe. I was more into He-Man and Thundercats, but all of that stuff kind of existed at the same time. And it didn't really matter, like, a kid at that point
had nothing else to watch. Like, Tom's looking at Goonies when like there's a billion shows to watch. Like,
it's not even that though. It's just,
but it is because like there's back then that was the pinnacle of movies. That was it.
Yeah, it's hard.
10 billion things to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to explain because it did, like, those movies did kind of form a foundation of the stuff that we have now, and. It's the same problem I have actually with my son where, I try and show him like, older media, games, shows, whatever. And he kind of like, and I know you're not doing this deliberately, Tom, but it's like, kind of the reaction, yeah, it was okay. But, or, I've seen better, like the new stuff is better. And it's like, yeah, it's more refined. It's, people iterate on the formula, but there's a weird emotional attachment to it that I can't even explain. Like,
and you could relate that to Disney too, right? To even bring it all the way back around. Like, was 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea good? I mean, I think it was awesome, but was it really?
I mean, that's one of my
not good in comparison to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I'm not even saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it wasn't my favorite movie. I like a lot of people. It's like, oh, it's the greatest movie ever, and I was like, yeah.
Well, I don't think it's in my top 10.
Yeah,
it's close.
It's up there. I mean, for me, my greatest movie ever is The Dark Crystal.
Red Dawn. Okay. Red Dawn, not even a question.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what my greatest movie of all time would be. I'm trying to think about that. I have to think about that because
it's a hard thing to answer now.
It is.
It is really hard to answer now. Yeah.
Yeah, but Red Dawn is definitely my favorite movie of all time. But again, that's also a timing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was during the Cold War. Like if you lived through that, it becomes a totally different movie than if, Tom was to watch it. And I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying because of the age difference, right? It becomes a different movie.
I mean, that's fair.
It is weird. Yeah. Living at certain times does affect your impression and like ability to relate to different shows and media and stuff. Right. Yeah. That's a good point. I never really thought about that. Like it's because we all kind of like assume that everyone else is like on the same page as us. And like,
well, I'm going to go I'm going to go even deeper real quick before we even start the Disney stuff is that it always makes me wonder how people get married to people outside of their kind of school year. So I would say like anything that has a gap of like 5 or 6 years or more, I find it odd.
I mean, my wife is 4 years younger than me, and there are a lot of times that I'll reference things that she doesn't know, and because she didn't grow up with, that's
not bad. I mean, 4 years, you're still in theory in high school together, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I she's a year older than me, but even to that end, like just our upbringings were so different that like I do the same thing where I'll reference something and she'll look at me and be like, how do you know what that is? Because it's just, she never was exposed to the things that I was exposed to as a kid. I'll bring up, actually, she always makes fun of me for this, is that I watched Watership Down as a kid and I really enjoyed it. She's like, that movie's messed up. And she's like whenever she whenever she wants to, take a jab at me, she's like, yeah, well, you watched Watership Down growing up. And
that's a good jab. What a random way to start.
That was a great little rabbit hole, but yeah, we should probably get into the actual agenda.
yeah, let's do it. I mean, there's a fair amount to talk about this week. So I just wanted to, I want to do this really quick because Miranda had sent us an email with like a little trip report, and then also this was Miranda had asked for advice and we had given some advice. So I kind of wanted to follow up on that. But so I'll just read this really quick from Miranda. Thank you for such a fun podcast to listen to. At the beginning of September, we took our first trip to Disneyland. Also happened to be her husband's first vacation ever to a Disney park. And then during their drive from Oklahoma to California, that feels like a long drive. I don't know how long that is, but that feels long. We listened to you all and worked on catching up. I had fallen a bit behind. We often have to pause the show and have our own discussion. I kind of like that. Like, I don't know if anybody else does that, where they pause the show and then discuss what we're discussing, but I kind of like that. And then they got there and then they scheduled a DVC meeting. And they got the free passes. They didn't think they could afford it. And then somehow they left the meeting as new members. I feel like that happens to a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I feel I think I said this many times on the show before. When we did our first DVC meeting, I said to my wife before we walked in, I was like, the number one rule today is we are not purchasing anything today. Not going to happen. And which we actually held to. We didn't buy it until later, but I could see how. I mean, it was pretty quickly after getting the presentation, my wife was like, "We should do this."
Yeah, that was similar for us. We were like, we weren't in a meeting, but it was like we talked with our rep. And, same thing. We went in with, hey, if this doesn't work, we're prepared to walk away, all that kind of stuff. And after the first conversation, we're like, this is happening. Like it didn't take a lot to convince us.
Yeah, no. And I mean, I think the most amazing part about this is Miranda's husband had yet to step foot in any park ever. This was his first Disney trip ever.
Wow.
So kudos to you, Miranda, impressive. For convincing him without him ever being in the parks. He later told me what sold him was when I mentioned this was the third year in a row I'd managed to get to Disneyland. So this was the first time for her husband for a birthday celebration. So happy birthday. I know this was a couple of weeks ago. I'm a little bit behind on emails, but so she also wanted to thank us for all the advice we gave on the resorts from Florida, because she had asked like where to stay as a first time DVC member down in Disney World. So they're going to go in 2026, and they're going to take she's going to take her brother for a high school graduation gift, which is pretty cool. But you know, she hasn't been to Disney World though since 2008. So that's going to be a whole new experience for you.
Oh, it is a whole new world. And I know I made that pun, but I don't.
You did. Yeah. It's okay though. But they have 150 points, which will give us they would like to do a full week, which you can do a full week on 150 points. And you know, she mentioned that we mentioned Wilderness Lodge was like Grand California, which is, you know, true. They're very. I haven't been to Grand California, but I've seen pictures. And Trevor, you've also said that too.
I can 100% verify they are very similar resorts, and it's good.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, Wilderness Lodge is great because you know, you said Miranda mentions in here we may want to consider something that will be easy to get back to at the end of the day. I mean, if you want the easiest thing ever to get back to at the end of the day, you could stay at Bay Lake, because you can literally walk from Magic Kingdom to Bay Lake. Or you could do any of the monorail resorts, but Wilderness Lodge is not that much more difficult anyway. You just hop on a boat and, you know, get there that way. And you're pretty close by. So, you know, and she wants to know if we have any further advice for her Disney World trip. And I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I feel like there's a million things we could tell you, but
I will let's touch on the, you know, getting back to your resort easily. Like the reality is that, you know, resorts are spread out and the parks are spread out. So there's no resort where you're going to be like, oh, you know, this is always easy to get back to. There are some resorts that are better. And again, depending on where you are, like, you know, Wilderness Lodge and Bay Lake are great if you're near, if you want to be at Magic Kingdom a lot. But if you're going to be at Epcot, Boardwalk and Riviera make more sense, right?
Yeah.
And then also Hollywood Studios, because you've got the Skyliner, right? So those resorts may make more sense. Or if, you know, you're going to be at Animal Kingdom Lodge is the closest resort. So you do have to concede that, you know, certain days, yeah, it is going to be further to get back to your resort. But at the end of it all, you're not going to notice that much, because, you know, just being on property and, you know, the way the buses and the monorails and everything work, you know, pick where you want to stay the most is, I guess, the advice I would give on that, because, you know, or, you know, outside of, I think the only time that you would lose on the travel part is if you're going to Saratoga and Old Key West, only because they're very big resorts and they are far away from everything. So you know, those ones would always be bad for if you're using the Disney transportation specifically.
Yeah.
If you're driving it, you know, it's neither here nor there, because it's about equal distance to all the parks. So, I mean, like I said, it sounds like she's kind of convinced herself to go to Wilderness Lodge, which I would say that's not a bad thing.
It's one of my favorites. I mean, it might be my favorite. So yeah.
And it has, you know, it's a familiar enough vibe to Grand Californian, if that's what you're after. And yeah, it's close to Magic Kingdom, and, you know, you can get to Epcot and, you know, the other parks relatively easy, because the buses are fine for that.
Yeah, if you like that woodsy feel to it, you know, you definitely like, you are in the woods, right? So as long as you like that kind of vibe too. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Miranda, for writing in. I appreciate it. I always like a good trip report like this, and unfortunately I didn't go through all of it, but, you know, because we have some other things to get to. But I'm glad you had a good time on your trip, and she also included some pictures too, which was nice as well. So yeah, let us know. I mean, listen, if you want to post in the group, Miranda, and ask for any other advice for Disney World, I'm sure the group will be happy to give you tons of advice. So
yeah, totally make use of it. You know, we got lots of great people there.
Absolutely. All right, Trevor and Damon. I actually thought of Damon when I saw this.
What is this?
So there's some new incentives out for a direct DVC purchase, but not on the resort that you would think. So for a limited time, DVC owners can save up to $30 per point when adding on at Saratoga Springs.
But do I still get all New Year's?
What's that?
Do I get all New Year's?
No, probably not.
No.
No.
Wait, so why do I want it then?
Well, because it's discounted. It's a pretty heavy discount.
It's cheaper than everything else direct.
But it's also pretty heavy cut down on years, isn't it?
That's true. Yes. 2054 is the
Wait, is mine 2054?
Probably. But it's 30 years though, man. That's a long time. I mean,
that That's
what's it normally then?
Decent.
No, it's normally 2054. It's it's probably what your
what happens when you buy a new resort? How many years is it when you start?
Mine's it depends on
50.
It's 50 if you buy it.
Then why would I buy this?
Because I'm just saying it's a nice discount. You're getting a nice discount here.
It's at $5 off a point.
Yeah, up to $30.
Hold on, but $5 off a point. $5 off a point for 100 points is $500 when the cost probably $15,000.
No, listen. What I'm saying though is that this is you're ending up way lower than some of the other active.
You're also ending up with a lot less years. This makes absolutely zero sense.
No, hold on, Damon. It does. The use case where I see this making sense is if there's somebody that does want to get into blue card benefits, but doesn't want to spend money on Poly or, any of the other new, Poly Riviera, because those are up at, 225 a point. You could get in at 150 points on this and it's $190 a point. So there is a use case for it, but yeah, I get what you're saying from your point of view. This is not valuable.
I guess I could see that as a specific scenario, but that's probably the only one. And I still don't think I would do it because just knuckle up, pay the extra. You're talking $4,000 for 100 points, but I'm also getting a bunch more years. But I don't know. Maybe if you're like 60.
I just know you like Saratoga. That's all I was saying.
I love Saratoga, but I wouldn't do this.
That's actually a fair point too. If I was in my 20s buying this, yeah, you're right. That that probably doesn't make sense. But if I'm my age, I'm 45. If I was looking to buy in right now.
And you had no kids.
Yeah, this actually might make sense because
my use case has to be no kids too, because in theory you're giving your kids your points.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So no kids, loves Disney, past 50.
Okay, but I mean, even at 45, that gets me up to 75, which, if I had grandkids, that's 30 years of.
Well, you can't have grandkids without kids, but yeah, you're saying for your specific incident.
I'm saying, knowing that, buying it, that I'm going to go with my grandkids in the next 15, 20 years kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's only like $4,000 less.
I mean, it's not nothing. $4,000.
It's not nothing, but you talk about over 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's more than 10 years.
I mean, that it's basically saving you on a trip or 2 trips, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do love Saratoga. I don't think this is something I would do if I was going to get more points. I would just want I'd want all the years, even though, gosh, all the years for me, like 50 years doesn't even help me. 101. I mean, if I'm alive, I'm not going to Disney probably. I mean,
you're going to be like a
robot.
Yeah, you'll be a robot. Yeah,
if I'm a robot, that's cool.
Be the thing where your like brains in like a clear jar, and you have a robot body. Possible. Is it?
I can see your robot sitting on People Mover going, "Wee."
I would never be on People Mover as a robot.
I mean, you couldn't go on anything crazy because then you'd be bound. You could
screw.
Yeah, you don't know what can happen.
But I mean, is this robot going to feel things? Like, are we at that point? Because if he doesn't feel things, then what's the point of going on any ride?
Mm-hmm.
That's also a fair point. Right?
It'll have accelerometers, Damon. It'll be
I mean, I guess
if you can't feel the G's,
the accelerometer went past 70%. This must be exciting.
What's the point if you can't feel the G's? Right?
Exactly. I mean, Tom said we had a lot to discuss, but honestly, I hate to say it. After that, it's a wrap for me.
All right. Okay.
Like, I don't know but I'm just looking at the rest of these things. Like, stupid food time. Obviously, I don't care about that.
We put it at the end for you.
And then Disneyland.
Yeah.
Moana. I still haven't seen Moana 1. And we had a discussion recently about The Rock, and I still am just not getting on board. My wife loves The Rock. That's fine. Good for her. I think he's a terrible actor, and I refuse to just buy into his rockness.
Listen, right? I don't love the
show
either.
It's not about
So I can't do Moana 2.
You can.
I can't. Because I can't do Moana 1.
He's a side character.
The Rock is a side character in Moana?
Yeah. He's
a supporting character.
Yeah.
He's not the main character.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a pretty hefty character, right?
I mean, even in the first one, he doesn't show up until like a half hour into it?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's like 20, 30 minutes into the show. It's not like he's there the whole time.
Yeah.
And even at that,
can't do it on principle.
There is even a break. Like there is a section further on where he's nowhere to be seen either.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Can't do it. I'm not doing Moana 2. And then the other one was Disneyland. And then this Festival of the Holidays, I've seen there, been there, done that. And it's not that exciting.
Okay. I wanted to just talk about gingerbread houses, and especially the.
Did you guys make gingerbread houses every year? We do.
I don't.
We stopped. We used to, but we my son hit a point where he doesn't.
Okay, this is what I'm curious about with Trevor's, and I'm going to be looking at it from the outside, so it will be interesting to me.
Yep.
Is that once your son gets girlfriend or whatever, right, the significant other person, even just dating, I wonder if you'll go back to all that, because that's like we haven't necessarily had this lull of because we had the oldest, and then we had our youngest, and they're 6 years apart. So we never really had this lull of where we didn't do stuff. But I could see if you just had one where you would kind of find that. But I think it picks back up when they, have a boyfriend, girlfriend at that age, and then you start to do those things again. So I'm kind of curious if you guys go back to doing that stuff, even though you kind of had a break or not.
That's a fair point. I know what you're saying, and I feel like, the problem is only having the one is, if I was going to do things like gingerbread houses, it would be because I want to do it, because he's just, not interested in it. I get your point about, you had the like steps of like your kids were at different ages and all that. I feel like even when he gets to the point of, having a significant other, I don't know that we'll go back to doing that, but I can definitely see certain traditions looping back around, especially like, especially when he gets to the point where he, when he starts having kids, we'll definitely, be involved in some of that stuff. Because that's kind of what happened with me and my parents, was that we stopped doing things. But then when I was an adult, it was like, I kind of came back to him and was like, hey, like, how did you do this when we were kids? And they kind of helped us initially like start it up again. Yeah.
You don't realize how much like your parents did in terms of all that stuff. I'm starting to realize that too. And I was thinking about like, gosh, my parents did, 100 cool things, in that regard. Right. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm winning doing 50, but gosh, it's only half of what they did. And I'm like, wow. Like, and then but then you feel better when you talk to people and they do like nothing. And you're like, all right, phew, like I feel a little bit better, but
it's so much harder now though, too. Cause there's so many more things that are
occupy their time.
Yeah.
Travel sports were not necessarily a thing when I was their age.
So the interesting thing, Damon, because you missed this, we had this conversation last week about Halloween, and I actually brought up that, like, for us, Halloween changed because we stopped doing a lot of the, like carving pumpkins and stuff like that. But what it's actually turned into is we now have a tradition where we have, like, me and my wife played a lot of scary games when we were younger, and we're kind of revisiting those with my son. So that's become like a tradition now where we sit down together, and because like we played through Dead Rising this year. Last year we were playing Silent Hill. So like so we've actually formed something new, which is kind of interesting that like, I see your point about, carrying, there is those things that you carry forward from your parents, but there is also room for starting new things that,
Oh, I agree. I mean, as the world has changed, it's just, we did pumpkins again this year, and it's funny. We're going through this really interesting thing where my middle one will just like, there's stuff he just doesn't like doing, but like when you're 12, he just never said anything. And now that he's 18, he's like, yeah, I don't like carving pumpkins. Yeah, I don't like going to Disney. Like, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like that. And now we're like trying to like kind of now, okay, so now what? Right? Like,
so what
we
did
still
you like?
we did pumpkins this year, but we did them when everyone was home for October break. So they were all like had to be thrown away before Halloween. I think a few of them survived Halloween, but we did them just super early because everyone was around with their girlfriends, and it was, fun. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting diversion. But I'm curious, like I said, to see, your son go through it too, and kind of what makes its way back around for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know when we get to that point.
We'll probably still be doing the podcast. It's not like it's going to be like surprising to us. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We'll be doing the podcast. I'll let you guys retired. Know. Can we make it till I'm retired? Is that going to be possible?
I don't know. It depends on when you're going to retire.
that entirely depends
62.
on us.
Okay, well, that's 11, a long time.
11 more years. How long have we been doing it for?
2017? Yeah.
8 years almost.
Yeah, it'll be 8 years this
Ooh,
April.
11 more years.
Oh, God. I can't believe it's been 8 years. That's kind of crazy to think about, actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Can we do 11 more, though? That's the big question.
That's a lot of years.
I mean, I've been married for 25 years, so
that's true.
20,
fair point.
Is it still interesting, though? That's the big question.
no, sorry, 20.
Oh, don't answer that.
20. Sorry, 25 is coming up. No, we're 22 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so hold on. And my son is going to be 21, so we're at 22 years too.
Okay. I'm at 11, but still.
Okay. You're just a baby. That's what it is, man. You're just a little baby.
I don't know about a baby, but okay.
All right, well, that's it. I don't care about any of the rest of the stuff.
All
I
right.
want to put in my lights, my low voltage lighting. I'm finishing it up today.
All right.
See, but
All
I'm
right.
letting everybody know, so they should feel comfortable. I pretty much bullied out 20. What are we at? 30 minutes. I bullied out 28 minutes of non-Disney stuff. So yeah, it's time for me to go.
You go have fun, Clark Griswold.
Yeah. I was saying in the Discord that I should do like the old AIM sound of the door opening, when he showed up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I could do for when he leaves, I could just do the door closing thing. I miss AIM. I really do. Anyway. Where were we? I totally don't even remember.
We're at
Epcot.
Epcot International Festival of the Holidays.
Okay, yeah, that thing. Okay, cool. So, I think the biggest thing, so this starts November 29th, so we got a couple more weeks here, and then through the end of the year, of course. The thing I was excited about is the gingerbread display inspired by Spaceship Earth. So they're going to hundreds of handcrafted gingerbread triangles will be on display inside Communicore Hall. I'm assuming they're not making like an actual dome out of it. Probably it looks like it's just kind of like curved, maybe.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's a full like ball. Just like you say. Yeah, it's like it's a circle, but not spherical.
Yeah, it's like it feels like a dome to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But still, it's still cool. I love to see all of the neat things that they do every holiday season with this stuff because, especially, Spaceship Earth, because Spaceship Earth is so cool. And, I always love to see that kind of thing. Good.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through. There's actually there's not a lot to talk about in post,
in this one. No.
Yeah.
No. I want to note there too, but it will also light up and dance to the music periodically through the day. So they're doing lights on this as well, like they do on the full one.
As they should.
As they should.
Yeah.
Wait, there's I don't even think we talked about the other gingerbread houses that are going on.
No, not yet.
And I did not put that on the list. I don't know why. I forgot.
But I guess, so to be fair, the gingerbread houses at the hotels they're very well known and they're expected and assumed that they're going to be there. So, I don't know that we necessarily need to talk about them in detail every single time. I think this is definitely, I can't recall the last time I've seen a large gingerbread presentation in the parks. So to me, this is far more interesting because they're actually doing something in the parks with a gingerbread house. Or sorry, I should say in the Florida parks before somebody comes at me, because yes, there is the gingerbread house in the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland.
Well, I was also though looking at, I was, and yeah, you're right. They did these last year where they had the baby, and they've done it for this is the fourth year in a row. They have a life-size baby gingerbread giraffe at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but it's just so cool. It's just amazing how they make this stuff. I'm always impressed. I feel that, the whole reason why I don't make gingerbread houses is I feel like I've never been able to make a structurally sound one, right? Like it always like falls apart as I'm making it. So like whenever I see, gingerbread made into a giraffe, it amazes me because I can't even make a house out of gingerbread.
Really?
I've always had a hard time with it.
Okay. I've never not been able to complete a gingerbread house.
Yeah.
So.
I probably did it like once and then gave up and never did it again. I don't even remember the last time I did it, to be totally honest. I think we did one for believe it or not, we actually did one for Halloween a couple years ago, but that was my sister had brought it. So like that was an activity she was doing with my daughter, and I wasn't involved. So, yeah.
I guess I've done it enough because like we used to have when my son was younger, we would have his cousins over, and we like that's what we would do is we'd make it like a big thing where we would sit down with the kids and do it. So I think the difference is I had enough experience. Like when you're forced to build like 4 gingerbread houses at once because every kid's building their own, you quickly learn like technique and stuff and like how to get the royal icing to set a little before you start building and stuff like that. So I get though if you've never like really sat down and done it that
it's been a while.
It can go sideways quickly. So but speaking of making your own gingerbread stuff, so I did notice that it looks like you'll be able to purchase the gingerbread triangles.
Yes. From
this. So they're calling them the experimental prototype cookies of tomorrow.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's a name for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's they're going to actually give you you can get the Spaceship Earth triangles as a decorating kit, which I think is cool that they're doing that. Like that to me is, like if I'm going, it's like, that's a great display, but I actually really like the idea of, you can take a version, a smaller version of this and take it home and do your own decorating of it, or even, taking it back to your hotel room and doing decorating. I mean, I don't know if that works for everybody. I don't know if I would want to decorate a gingerbread house in my hotel room, but
a bit of DVC though. But,
if I have a kitchenette, exactly. Yeah, that it does work. But I do like that better as an interactive thing or something where you can like do your own version of it. And it's not just like, because I'll be honest, like looking at gingerbread houses, that's fine for about 5 minutes. But unless I can snap a piece off and eat it, I'm really not that interested.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It makes sense. That is cool though that you can do that. It's a smart idea, and I like that. Those are the kinds of activities that you do with like my 6-year-old daughter. I mean, that's the things we will do over the holidays. We will do decorating of cookies and stuff like that because she will be all about that. So that'll. If we were in the parks, I would buy that and we bring it home and we would do it, because she would be all into that. But I just think it's cool that, like I said, that they're doing a Spaceship Earth one. It's just very cool to me.
Yeah, I like that they picked that for an Epcot holiday thing.
Yeah. By the way, go ahead. Sorry,
I was just going to say the other thing I noticed on here that they're actually bringing up, outside of this happening at Communicore Plaza, apparently you can make snowflake, or they have a build your own snowflake thing, which I'm guessing is another activity thing. And then they also did mention, I wish this would actually get more visibility, is the greenhouses overlay at Living with the Land.
Yeah.
My wife actually, she didn't realize this was a thing until she saw it on. Yeah. So we've been there at Christmas time, but the timing of when we get there is usually before the greenhouses are done in the overlay. So she didn't even realize that they actually did that. And then she saw it and she's like, oh my gosh, I need to, go see this. So that's on our to-do list.
The last time we were there for Christmas time, they had it. We like specifically rode Living with the Land to see this. And for some reason it wasn't turned on. Like you could see all the lights were set up and everything, but it wasn't on. And we were like, we were so mad about it.
Yeah.
We were like, we just came. I mean, we like riding Living with the Land anyway, but it was like we made a specific trip just to go, not a specific trip to Epcot just to go see that, but I mean a specific trip to Living with the Land to see the lights. And they weren't turned on for some reason. It was weird, but what are you going to do? It's something they do every year now. So,
I mean, you could go back and, make demands, but I'm sure they wouldn't listen to you.
Well, turn the lights on now. Yeah.
I expect you to let me ride this again and to turn the lights on because I was on. Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay.
don't be that person.
Well, I won't do that. Okay. All right. Should we do our ad and then talk about other stuff?
Yeah, we should do that. All right. So this week, our sponsor is DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market is a World of DVC company and is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. And if you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2023, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS, that's 382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
Despite what Damon says, I am looking forward to Moana 2, although... So my daughter likes to watch a lot of YouTube Kids, and the one and only ad that they have on YouTube Kids is for Moana 2, right? Like this, it pops up all the time, and I'm okay with that. I usually don't like seeing her seeing ads and stuff like that, but for Moana 2, it's whatever, right? So
yeah,
we're watching it, and my daughter loves Moana. She loves all the songs. She loved the character. In fact, she wanted us to do Moana for Halloween this year, but I said to her, I was like, okay, so let's go see it in theaters. And she's like, no. My daughter refuses to watch movies. Absolutely just straight up refuses to watch movies. Like if we start playing a movie, she will leave the room. And
wow.
It drives me insane. But yeah, so I doubt I'm going to get to see this until it comes out on Disney Plus, and I'm going to have to watch it myself. So, but nonetheless, I'm glad they made another one.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't go to movie theaters anymore.
Well, there's
either, and I mean, it's not that, or I guess my issue with movie theaters, and we've kind of touched on this before, is that I don't want to go and have my experience ruined by other people, because I've definitely had that where, and maybe it's better now, or maybe it was just incidental that I'm in a movie theater and there's some teenagers in there that are on their phones the entire time, and it's like, if you're going to a movie theater, like put your phone away for like an hour, like come on. But so that aside, yeah, I'm not going to go watch this in theaters either. But I don't think it's a bad thing to wait until it comes on Disney Plus.
Yeah, sure.
And,
yeah,
because for me, it's you get it on Disney Plus, you can kind of sit down and invite over whoever you want to watch the movie with you. Like we actually will invite my wife's aunts overs to come and watch stuff because they don't have Disney Plus, and so we kind of make it a thing where we're like, hey, come over, we'll have dinner, we'll sit down and watch a movie together, and that works out. So, but yeah, as far as the let's get back to talking about the Moana 2 merch.
I was going to say, though, I'm with you. I prefer the experience at home anyway to going to the theater, just because for a million reasons, honestly. It's a lot cheaper for me to pop a $1.50 bag of popcorn in my microwave than to buy a big bucket of popcorn from, you know what I mean? Like,
and I can make way better popcorn at home. Like, like I'll be honest.
Pause the movie,
Yeah, I've got really good, or I figured out, I figured out a good supplier for coconut oil. Because Disney uses coconut oil in their popcorn. We figured out that makes for better popcorn. So we have really good coconut oil. And then you guys, or I don't remember, you guys have kernels down there, right? Or,
what do you mean kernels?
Okay, I guess you don't have kernels then. So Kernels is it's a company that they usually have like kiosks in the mall, and they just sell different flavors of popcorn. Like they do like caramel popcorn, and
we might
you can get like buffalo spice popcorn and stuff. So we actually buy they have like salt and vinegar spice and cheesy dill and stuff like that. And so we'll buy some of those, and so we can make like really good popcorn at home, which to your point is you can you make that, and then you sit down and enjoy your movie with the popcorn you want instead of overly salty movie theater popcorn.
Well, and I think I told you about this, but I literally, because I hate the theater so much, I like being in the theater if I'm just the only one there, right? Like if there's no one else there, great. But for the most part, it's usually not a great experience. So I literally built a theater room in my house so I can just watch movies in my house with surround sound and a big screen and all that stuff. So like I did that specifically because I want to be able to like watch movies in that kind of environment, but now I can do it from my couch. And I mean, I can't always make it through a whole movie without having to take a restroom break, so I can pause it if I need to, like it's helpful for sure. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, off of the movie going, but back to, talking about the Moana merchandise that they're showing off here. Is there anything that's standing out for you? Because obviously, your daughter is very into it. Like, what's looking good from your point of view?
Not to go off of Moana again, but I went to Lowe's today I was trying to buy something, and I brought my daughter with me, and they have all the Christmas stuff out, right? Mm-hmm. And I swear, I think Disney's got like a monopoly now on just all the Christmas decorations, because like I'm going to say 75% of the stuff there was Disney themed.
I mean, at least at Lowe's, yeah. It seems they have a partnership with Lowe's.
They must. I don't know, but there was all sorts of stuff, and so we ended up with like an Eeyore inflatable and like all that stuff. And they had like a Moana one, like a Moana thing. It wasn't an inflatable; it was something else. But like they just have all this stuff, and my daughter was all about getting all these things. So we ended up with like several Disney Christmas things. Not like we didn't have them before. We have many Disney Christmas things already. But anyway, I just looking at this. I mean, look, I'm not giving my daughter a Dooney and Burke bag, so that's out.
I would say my wife would actually like a Dooney and Burke bag like that.
That's a pretty nice looking bag, honestly.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice looking bag. I think the Hey Hey plush is adorable, as is the Pua one. I know my daughter would be all about that. I also today got an Eeyore that is dressed for Christmas. When you push his paw, he sings a sad Christmas song to you.
Oh,
and his mouth moves and everything, and he kind of sways along to it. And I was like, all right, well, I got to buy this too. My daughter's favorite character is Eeyore. She loves Eeyore. So, but anyway, nice. I mean, I could see my daughter getting the plushes, right? But even though she has way too many stuffed animals, and I try to avoid giving her any new ones. But you never know. I do like she does love action figures. I could see this being the one thing that is under the Christmas tree for her is the dolls, because she does love the dolls.
The American Girl doll or one of the other ones?
There's not the American.
There's like three different ones. Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that it looks like it says it sings, I guess. I don't know.
Singing Adventure Moana. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably that one. Because listen, my sister had a bunch of American Girl dolls growing up, and I think my daughter would probably like them, but I think she's still maybe slightly too young for them because they are a little pricier. So I think I might wait a little bit. I could also see though. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, makes sense.
The light up shell necklace, that's probably going to happen. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Like that's I could see her. My daughter loves jewelry. She loves wearing stuff around. She especially loves it if it's Disney related. So I can definitely see that.
I can tell you, my son would have gone when my son was younger. We would have bought that Maui hook for sure.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it lights up and everything. Yeah,
yeah. The only thing about it, there's lots of like toy stuff, but I feel like a hook it invites so many potential ways for kids to injure one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, that's 100% true. Yeah. But then I remember when I was a kid, and I remember what were they called? I'm assuming you had these in Canada. I don't remember what they were called, but they were just like these two inflatable things that you put on your hands, and you would just beat the heck out of your friend with them. Yeah,
sock 'em bopp'ems or something. That?
Rock 'em, whatever it was, sock 'em bop. Yeah, I was like, that's the toys of my youth, where it was literally designed for you to beat up your friend.
Yeah, I remember those.
yeah, those are great. So they also though too they have Moana's canoe in Lego, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I would buy it. Obviously, it's not geared towards me, and my daughter's not really into Lego. I've tried to do Lego sets with her before, and she gets bored in about 5 minutes and moves on to other things. So I don't know. I am looking for a new Lego set though. I need another big one. And I think every time, Christmas comes around, everyone's like, oh, what do you want? And I'm like, I think we've talked about this before, Trevor, like where I'm at the age and you're at the age where it's like, if I want something, I buy it. So there's really nothing I want specifically, but Legos are the one thing I love having, but don't like spending the money on because they're so expensive. So I kind of always tell people, like, just get me a Lego gift card and I'll buy myself an expensive Lego set with it. Like, that's what I end up doing.
Right. So you tell them to help offset the cost of the expensive Lego.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. So what else we got here? I mean, I don't see myself wearing this men's shirt over here that says "The Ocean is Calling" on the back of it. Seems
that's such a weird one.
It really
I'll be honest. Like it's just like a plaid shirt or like.
Yeah, who's wearing that?
Or it's a flannel. Yeah, it's a flannel that says "The Ocean is Calling" on the back, which out of context is like
it's odd.
I mean, cool, I guess. I don't know, but sometimes I feel like Disney doesn't actually think about like who's going to actually wear this?
Who's going to buy this? Yeah,
like because I have no problem with wearing a flannel, but if it's got like a bunch of like, I don't want my flannel to have a bunch of stuff on it. Like the choice of like making a flannel like this is just weird to me.
It is a little odd. I will say though, so I see here too, there's a little golden book for Moana 2. We have a lot of those little golden books, especially, the Disney ones. And so I could see getting this because my daughter does love reading her books. I'm also seeing they have themed drinks. Am I seeing that?
I wanted to get to this. So
themed drinks. Okay.
The two last things that they're promoting here are, so there's a company called Better Sour they do sour gummies. Okay. And they've got passion fruit sour gummy stars that are Moana sponsored, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Which, I mean, hey, that just sounds good. I like good gummy candies.
Gummies, yeah.
Yeah. I like good gummy candies. So it's like, that sounds, sour gummies sound like a great idea. But then, the coconut water, that is a very, so it's pure coconut water, like the brand.
And some flavor. Yeah.
And but no, that's the brand. But then they've got 3 different flavors of, mango, coconut, and pineapple. And they're all obviously, Moana themed, which, that's very smart to sell coconut water based on the movie because, coconuts are a big part of the first one and all that. This is actually the smartest thing I think Disney has done with that because it's kind of, and I'm making the joke. Yes, it's low hanging fruit, and I see the joke.
Oh wow!
Anyway. It's. I don't have a problem with that, and like I'll be honest, I kind of want some mango coconut water.
Like I don't know if I've ever had coconut water.
Coconut water
I'm not a coconut fan. I'm not a coconut fan, but I don't know if it tastes that coconutty or not.
I mean, well, coconut water isn't like you're thinking of like the meat of a coconut is like the.
I'm just saying I don't like the coconut flavor, the coconut taste. Like that's not for me.
I feel coconut water is not. It's not overpowering, or at least to me. But and then also, mango is my favorite fruit. So mango coconut water seems like a win.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this: I'm going to be sending some of these things to my wife because I think some of these things are going to end up under the Christmas tree. So I'm actually kind of glad we did this on the show because
I can't wait for you to open your pineapple coconut water on Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't mean that.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant for my daughter, but I mean, I might be opening a Lego set. I don't know. Well, that looks like. See, I like really complicated and large Lego sets, right? Like I don't like doing the small ones because it's. The gratification of it is too quick. You know what I mean? Like I can get it done a day or two. It's like, like I want to work on something for like a week, or a couple
interesting.
weeks.
See, whenever I've done like puzzles and stuff like that, I always like it. If it's like, I can do it in an afternoon, that's perfect for me.
Oh no,
I don't actually want the long ones. And that's actually part of why I don't go for big Lego sets myself is because I don't want it to be something that I have to do over a week or a month or whatever. I want to finish it in an afternoon.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what I want. I wanted to last a long time. I want to work on it forever. So funny. Anyway, so you want to talk about some Disneyland holiday celebrations?
Yeah,
because we got that coming up. There's some new stuff like this Mirabelle's gifts of the season. They do so much, like, I feel like Encanto and Coco stuff at Disneyland.
They do. It's very. Yeah. I'm very happy that they are doing that stuff at Disneyland. Like it's very multicultural holiday stuff, right? Which is fantastic. But yeah, to your point, it always feels like, hey, Disneyland gets all this cool stuff.
They do. Yeah.
Why is it not at Disney World? But,
I mean, to be fair, there was that like temporary Encanto show that was happening over at like Communicore Hall, right? But like, I mean, it was not anything, right? Like this is like a special holiday show. So that's fun that they're doing that. And then they also have a musical Christmas with the mariachi band and Miguel. So that's fun too. I always love the mariachi bands.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen, like, I don't know if you watch videos of the mariachi and the festival stuff that they do?
I've seen the Epcot one. I mean, the Epcot mariachi band. I mean, I'm sure it's similar. But.
Well, no, actually, so the stuff, like, they have like dancers and stuff that they bring out in California. Go watch it if you get a chance. It's very impressive. Like
I thought you meant the band itself. I was like, I've seen a mariachi band.
Well, no, like the mariachi is great, but then, like I said, but they do a bunch of other like in the past I've seen like it's amazing dancers and stuff that go alongside of it. And like I said, if you get a chance, check it out, because the productions are like, even the like the street performer stuff, like the mariachi bands, they don't have a lot of room in the Mexico pavilion for the mariachi bands in Epcot. They actually do have a lot more space in California, and so it means that they can do a lot bigger productions, even for like the street performer stuff. So
interesting.
Like I said, check it out. I would really recommend it.
The other new thing I saw in here too that I thought was kind of cool was that they're going to take the Fantasyland Theater and they're going to make it into like almost like a little Christmassy village kind of thing going on.
About time.
Yeah. So like they're going to have Santa there to make appearances and pose for photos. But then they also are going to have craft making, sing-alongs, and of course, like music going on. So it actually, the concept art of it looks pretty cool.
Well, I'm just looking. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time that because I realized Fantasyland Theater has not been in use for years now.
Empty for a while, yeah.
Which, I mean, is this the part where I say they should bring back Mickey and the Magical Map?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've said that in other episodes.
I have, and maybe I need to remind everybody about it, because Mickey and the Magical Map was an awesome show.
Was the Captain America one in that theater? Or was that a different theater?
No, that was at the Hyperion.
Oh,
which
okay.
is so that's in California Adventure. The Fantasyland Theater is it's right outside of Toontown, which is like, in Magic Kingdom terms, it's like towards the back of Fantasyland. Like think about like kind of near where Be Our Guest is. Like Fantasyland Theater would be like in that kind of area.
Gotcha. Okay. I think we hit on the new things here, but is there anything else you wanted to bring up about this?
I'm just looking, or I was trying to see what else there was. Like, yeah, there's the normal parade stuff and
World of Color, Season of Light.
World of Color, yeah. World of Color Season of Light is worth it. And I haven't seen this in a while. I forgot about this, that they do light up Small World.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I actually have friends that are going. Some of our closest friends, they love going to Japan, and they're on their way to Tokyo right now. And they did it for their honeymoon, and we had bought them Disney Tokyo Sea tickets for their honeymoon, right? And this time around, this is like their fourth or fifth time there. They're going to just regular Disney Tokyo, or and I was like. Yeah, and I told them, and these two used to live in California, so they used to go to Disneyland all the time. I'm like, pretty sure Tokyo Disney is like a straight up copy of Disneyland. Like,
almost. There are a few variations at this point.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff, like I believe, like Haunted Mansion, all that is
just copies.
Yeah,
which is fine. I mean, but I was like, I would rather go to. I mean, if I only had like a day to go, I'd probably still go to Disney Sea over just Tokyo Disney.
But that's because your priorities are different. I feel like I said, I feel like Tokyo Disney also has enough unique stuff like there, because I've seen I believe Pooh's Honey Hunt is there. Which is
there are a couple offshoots.
Yeah. That we don't have anything like that yet.
And they don't have their main street is very different too. Their main street is covered and they don't.
Yeah. I kind of wish that they would consider doing something like that in Florida.
Oh gosh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because but I also see why they don't want to. It's a lot of money to figure out a structure like that when you've got hurricanes and whatnot to come through. But yeah, it would be nice to have Main Street covered.
I put up they got to put up the dome that some people for some reason think that they have.
The magical dome.
Yeah, the magical dome to keep the rain out. So no, I know that sounded like it was a weird aside, but I was just trying to say that Tokyo Disney is basically Disneyland. I mean, it's the same park essentially, with a couple exceptions.
It's Bizarro World Disneyland because it's always the thing whenever you go to a different park is that you whichever is your home park, you're I kind of know where things are, but then you get to the other park and you're like, why is this all different? It doesn't sit right. Yeah. It's very glitch in the Matrix kind of feeling when you walk into a different park.
I get that. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway,
you'll love it when you go to Disneyland. I can't wait for you to go. You'll be like, this is weird.
What is this? Why is that castle so small?
What do you mean the tiki room's right there?
That's also that's weird. I actually think they have a tiki room with they have an updated tiki room, I think.
Yeah, the one in Tokyo has Stitch in it.
Yes, that's right. It has okay. I thought it was updated. Yeah, so they I believe they got an overhaul kind of similar to when they tried to do the Iago and Zazu thing in under new management one.
Which
we all know did not go well.
Well, I mean, thankfully they put it back to the way it's supposed to be.
Well, it caught on fire, if you remember correctly.
It did, yes. Yeah, that
which is hilarious.
I feel like in the show they talk about angering the gods. I feel like they angered the gods, and it was
that was the payback for it, right?
Yeah. You just leave it alone. It's fine.
All right, you ready to move on here?
Yep. Yeah. Do you got?
I'm always ready.
You've got your finger on the button for the song, and I know you do. There it is.
What time is it? Food time. What time is it? Food time. Damon's not here, so our mission is clear. It's food time. Food time. Team food is ready unless it has dairy, because it's food time. Food time. With Tom and Trevor, this will take forever, because it's food time, food time. Food and wine, we have the time, because it's food time, food time.
I feel like you can't listen to that song and not rock out at least a little bit, when you listen to this in your car. Okay, so we got a lot of food stuff backed up here because we got a lot of holiday food going on.
All right, so all right, we're gonna try and lightning round this. So we're gonna focus just on new stuff. We're not gonna revisit, things that are coming back because
new things. Yeah,
exactly. So I guess so we're starting with the Disney Eats Walt Disney World Holiday Resorts Food Guide. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
So off the bat, just the
resorts at Disney World. Yeah, right off the bat. Right.
Well, okay, but so they actually, it's funny they say resorts because they actually start Disney Springs.
Yes.
And in Amorette's right away, which the very first thing that jumps out for me is the Christmas present petite cake.
I mean, listen, Amorette's always knocks it out of the park with this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so chocolate chiffon, milk chocolate mousse, and coconut pecan filling. I mean, that's not really my thing.
It's that coconut, gotta love that coconut.
See, I was looking at the Christmas snickerdoodle cookie croissant, a croissant dough snickerdoodle cookie and holiday sprinkle plaque. I don't even know what that is, but I want it.
I bet it's just buttery and crunchy.
Right? That sounds amazing, right? I mean, it looks amazing too, I should say.
Ooh. And then next, okay, sorry.
I want all of this. I want to eat all of these.
Yeah, but I know you said you don't really do cheesecake.
Yeah.
Peppermint cheesecake, dark chocolate mousse, chocolate cookie crust, and white chocolate peppermint coating with crushed peppermint.
Give me
wow.
all that.
That's good. And then, here, go on.
You want to say it? You can try to say it.
It's a croquembouche.
Oh, okay. You know how to say that correctly?
Yeah,
all right.
It's a mini Christmas croquembouche.
I've never heard that word. I think in my entire life.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. And then, so it's chocolate pâte à choux, chocolate hazelnut custard, and chocolate ganache.
Oh my God.
Which
I want to eat all of this. I would literally order all of these.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just go into Amaret's and get one of each.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Oh, and they've got more. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay. Even more. Okay. A Yule log. So which, I'm sure most of you have seen what a Yule log looks like. Well, looks like a little bit of a different Yule log than I've seen before. Caramel milk chocolate mousse, spiced orange was a geely.
Yeah.
Chocolate chiffon and chocolate decor. I mean, that looks awesome.
Yeah. And then, okay, it's funny. They say this is new, but
I've definitely seen this.
I could swear I've seen this before. A Mickey gingerbread cookie, which, I mean, in thinking about it, have we gotten like just a Mickey Mouse head gingerbread cookie? Like we've gotten like the Mickey, like a gingerbread cookie
Mickey.
with Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah.
But this is just like the Mickey Mouse head.
Yeah.
As a gingerbread cookie dipped in milk chocolate with sugar Christmas lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amaret's has a whole new menu here, man. This is all new stuff. Wow. Okay. That's nice. I would eat that. That feels so basic though, when there's so many other cool things like the white mocha creme brulee.
Right.
White chocolate creme brulee with espresso, white chocolate crispy pearls, and chocolate espresso beans. Now, I'm not a huge coffee person, but I would probably still try this.
This sounds like a pre-lunch snack to me.
It does. Yeah, it does. There's a winter macaroon sandwich, almond cheese.
You get to Disney Springs in the morning, and you just had breakfast, and then you get a creme brulee with espresso in it.
I'm just imagining walking into Emirates and they go, "Oh, how can we help you today? Give me all of it."
I want the following.
Yes, everything you have that's new for Christmas, give it to me now.
Yeah. So as you're saying, the winter macaroon sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty. That looks really pretty, and then almond cheesecake with cranberry cherry jam.
Interesting.
I don't know that I want cranberry.
I don't love cranberry, but maybe the cherry makes it okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then last but not least, go ahead.
Yeah, that Toy Soldier Mickey Dome cake. I love that. Yeah. I love the way that looks.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Emirates is amazing. Like, forget about the Cake Bake Shop, man. Emirates always like knocks it out of the park, and it doesn't cost $24 for a slice of cake.
And if you're wondering, so this dome cake is chocolate chiffon, milk chocolate mousse, and coconut pecan filling. So again, with the coconut, which I think it works.
Yeah, it's basically the same as the petite cake. It's exactly the same. Actually, it's the same filling, but it just looks different. So.
Okay, so moving down the list, the next set of new stuff. So we're going to just kind of move over Everglazed and whatnot because they don't seem to have anything new. But then
talk about savory stuff at Jock Lindsay's.
Jock Lindsay's, yeah.
All right, so how about the Air Tours bacon and waffles with breakfast sausage, waffle, mini quiche, and candied bacon with bourbon maple syrup. That sounds good. I mean,
is that this thing hanging off of the wire?
That's what I was just going to say. Is that the thing where the bacon is hanging off of a wire? It kind of seems like it. What a weird dish.
It's so weird, but I like it. I'm interested.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. And then they also have holiday minecart meatballs, which are maple bourbon meatballs, Granny Smith apple and cranberry chutney, sweet potato, hay, and thyme. Okay.
Okay, I think that's the one below it.
Yeah, it's the bottom. I think it's bottom left-hand corner, right?
Which that's cute. And I actually didn't think I would like meatballs are usually not my go-to thing. But now I'm thinking about what maple bourbon meatballs would taste like, and
that'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, kind of want those.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. I'm scrolling way down here now.
There's
the ganachery. We're still in Disney Springs though. That's
Morimoto.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's some like drinks and stuff. We usually don't talk drinks on the show. So the ganachery though has a eggnog ganache square. Are you an eggnog guy, Trevor?
Oh yeah, I'm a big eggnog guy. My wife hates eggnog. She wants nothing to do with it, and she gets annoyed because every year I buy eggnog. She's like, "You better drink that," and I'm like, "You think I'm not going to drink that?"
Of course.
Like,
Eggnog's expensive though. I last year I remember buying some. Like I remember my dad was here and he was like, "Oh, can you buy some eggnog?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I went and it was like $9, and I was like, "What?" Like
the hard thing,
he paid me back for that,
Yeah, the hard thing for me is that I'm always looking out for lactose-free eggnog.
Oh yeah, that makes it harder. Yeah,
like because I can't do straight eggnog. It's way too much dairy for me.
That's a lot of dairy.
Yeah, but yeah, I always manage to find lactose-free eggnog, which makes me happy. I love good eggnog. Like a little bit of nutmeg in it. It's good.
Then the ganachery also has a Mickey ornament chocolate pinata. They always do those pinatas with this
bright red shell. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to smack it with a wooden hammer, which is fun.
Peppermint marshmallows. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then a hot ganache chocolate blend, a hot sipping ganache kit. So I guess that's like a sipping hot chocolate kind of thing kit.
Yeah,
what it seems like.
I guess it's just different flavors. Or is it multiple flavors? Or is it just like makes like a fancy hot chocolate for you?
I think it might just be one flavor. Yeah, I think it's just the fancy hot chocolate.
Okay, yeah, I'm there for that.
All right, so now we're actually going to venture into the resorts.
Oh wow, that was really far down. Okay.
Yeah, so starting off with Animal Kingdom Lodge over at the Mara, which if you've stayed at Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge, you know that is the quick service location over at Animal Kingdom, and they have a festive tart, which is a banana cake, caramel sauce, matcha crunch, chai mousse, green magic shell topped with holiday lights and animal print Mickey. Wow, that is a lot.
Okay.
I mean, is that the thing in the top right hand corner there?
That cup. It looks like a cupcake. Right.
They had me until they said matcha, and then I was out.
Really? You don't like matcha?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, it's no. I'm good.
Yeah, I think this would be good. I think it's a good. I mean, the matcha and the chai together is like that. To me, that's a good flavor profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Then over at Beach Club. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that one will do well. I mean, the only problem is it's only at Animal Kingdom Lodge, so you got to make your way over there to get it.
Well, if you're staying there, then you can have easy access to it. But then we have over at where am I at?
Beach Club.
Beach Club. There's a holiday Mickey cupcake, and I'm going to say off the bat, this feels like a cop-out one, but
this is so basic.
Yeah, so
why
basic.
Are they even advertising this?
Vanilla cupcake, white chocolate mousse, colored buttercream, holiday sprinkles, and white chocolate candy cane. Okay, fine. I would eat it, but it's like I'm not going to go out of my way to buy that.
I can buy that at the grocery store.
Exactly. And especially when I'm scrolling down here and I see on the boardwalk at the Boardwalk Deli the candy cane cheesecake brownie, peppermint cheesecake, decadent brownie, dark chocolate sleigh bell truffle. That looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there for that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I've said before I don't like cheesecake a lot, but I would eat this. This looks so good.
Now I have to ask. So how do you feel about cinnamon rolls? Because the next one,
I love cinnamon rolls.
A snowflake cinnamon roll. So fondant icing with a sugar snowflake decor. I like that. We always say this that this is very clear. Like it's got the Mickey ears thing to it, but they did like some sugar stars that give it that very festive holiday look to it. And it's still Disney enough, but it's not that cheap cop out. Like, hey, we printed a thing and slapped it on top. Like this looks.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
I love cinnamon rolls. So I'm all about cinnamon rolls. I'll eat a million cinnamon rolls if I have to. Over at Grand Floridian at the Gasparilla Island Grill, we've got a Let It Snow cube, which is an almond praline mousse, confit apricot, and orange chiffon. Okay,
wow.
I mean it doesn't look appetizing to me, but it sounds like it's probably good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's just like a white.
It's a white cube.
It's got the little tree in the front and everything. Which, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the confit apricot. I don't know.
I don't know exactly what that even means. I mean, what's the confit of the apricot? I don't know how that works, but
I mean, it's like I want to say it's like a sauce of some sort. Like I'm guessing it's something, but again, it's that apricot and then also orange flavor. Like I don't know that I want that. Like I always have problems with when they start throwing fruit into my candy.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
what else do we got?
We got down at Riviera over at the cafe. We've got a gingerbread eggnog entremet, which is gingerbread financier, eggnog panna cotta, and raspberry gel. That is a very fancy looking dessert. And I know
this is that circle thing with it's got the Riviera, like looks like a wax stamp almost, right?
I mean, and that cafe is known for having really good stuff. Like I've heard many people talk about how great that cafe is. I've not been in there yet, but this looks very good.
Gingerbread eggnog and raspberry. Like raspberry is actually the one thing on, like, back to the whole fruit thing. Like I'm not against raspberry, but I don't know if I want raspberry with my eggnog.
Yeah, I get that.
Just thinking about it, No, not saying it's wrong. I just don't know if I would go for it.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
Okay. Next, now we have. Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
I'm gonna call this out because come on, Disney, stop doing this. So Disney Yacht Club Resort, they're advertising the holiday cupcake. So you can get a basic vanilla cupcake at Yacht Club Resort. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Yeah. We got to go all the way down to ABC Commissary for the next new thing, and that's a Linzer cookie mousse torte. Layers of hazelnut cake, raspberry blackcurrant mousse, raspberry jam, and sweet snow-dusted Linzer cookie.
This looks very 50s to me.
It does, which I mean,
I like it.
The vibe they're going for, I'm sure. Yeah. And then I mean, the Backlot Express one is the one that I'm really intrigued by, which is
the gingerbread cheesecake.
The gingerbread cheesecake, which is gingerbread cheesecake on a vanilla cookie topped with milk chocolate ganache, dulce de leche whipped cream, gingerbread chocolate decor, golden crispy pearls, and holiday sprinkles. It just looks very appealing,
It does, yeah. And the little gingerbread man on it is like. It looks like I would just when you get something you just snatch that off and you're just like you're done. Yeah. Like
you bite that head off immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
even if I bought it for my kid, I would bite the head off and then give it
back to him. You got to go ahead. You got to go with the head first. You have to. So the Dockside Diner has a red velvet holiday milkshake. Okay. Red velvet milkshake. Yeah.
This is busy looking.
It is. And I mean, I love red velvet, but this looks pretty good. I'm not going to say this one's a cop-out one. It looks good. Then we over at the Trolley Car Cafe, we have a winter spice mini whoopie pie with a spice cake filled with orange buttercream, cranberry raspberry jam topped with candied orange peel, cranberry, holiday sprinkles, sweet snow, and a plant-based chocolate tree. Random to just have a plant-based thing in there, but okay.
I mean, I assume the whole thing is, it says the whole thing's plant-based, so I guess that's what they're trying to advertise.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like, spice cake, orange buttercream, cranberry. I'm struggling with this. Like, I feel like I would bite into this and I would really like it, but just thinking about all these flavors individually, and again, it's cranberry that's throwing me off because I do enjoy cranberry jelly, and this is probably going to make people mad. And fine, come for us in the Facebook group if you want. Like I like cranberry jelly, but if you give me like proper cranberry sauce, I'm not having it. Like I do not want like the actual texture of cranberry in anything that I'm eating. So I feel like it would be good if it's like that same thing as like when you get just cranberry jelly, where it's like that cranberry flavor without texture. That makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. All right, I think that's it for Disney World. I think we should hop on over to Disneyland.
All right,
and we'll do the.
That actually wasn't as bad as I thought.
No,
I'll be honest.
But we got the festival holidays at Disneyland Resort, and just to start off here, we've got some more savory things. So we got a barbecue over at a Twist on Tradition. We have a barbecue pulled pork cornbread bake with creamy slaw.
Wait,
So-
you hold on. You're in Disneyland Park. Sorry. I went to the wrong one. That's why I'm like, what are you looking at? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you now. Okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Does that mean the pulled pork is baked into the cornbread?
Barbecued pulled pork cornbread bake.
I don't see any pork in this picture.
Yeah, it looks like it's in that cup of cornbread.
Yeah.
So I feel like you would like dig into it and then you get like cornbread with pulled pork, which okay, yeah. All right.
And then we have a turkey, what is that? Galantine croissant muffin slider with herb mayo and cranberry marmalade.
Nope.
I don't even know what's going on there.
Nope. I can see the cranberries there. Nope. Hard pass.
It's just a mess. Though. It looks like they just threw like Thanksgiving dinner on a cupcake. Like, what's happening there?
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking with that one.
That's
a no. Yeah.
All right. So most of these are drinks over here, brew and bites. So
brews and bites. Well, there's the chicken chicharron with basmati rice and herb chutney and masala drizzle. Yeah, I mean that looks okay. Yeah.
Then we got favorite things. We have a sticky toffee pudding macaroon, Mickey-shaped chocolate macaroon filled with vanilla buttercream, date cake, and salted toffee sauce. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks good
delicious. Too. Yeah, it does. It looks very good. Good.
Oh no, sorry, that's a drink, spiced coconut cocktail. Yep.
Grandma's recipes.
Cookie dough Yule log filled with chocolate chip cookie dough and white chocolate mousse, covered with chocolate buttercream. Oh boy,
that sounds amazing.
That Yule log looks great.
It just has like a cookie dough core through the middle of it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
This is. I have to admit, this is one of those things where I would buy one and then I would eat it. And then I would probably go back for a second one. And then I would get about halfway through it and then regret my choices. Yeah. But it would be really good.
Felt like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That seems to be how we roll.
Like I do like a good Yule log, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
agreed.
Looks good.
I think we can skip holiday duets, right? Yeah. It's just there's just a chorizo queso fundido mac and cheese. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So, hey, did you want more sliders? Because there's Winter Sliderland.
Wait, what a name. Winter Sliderland. Okay.
But they do have a al pastor pork and pineapple slider with corn brioche, which,
or left-hand corner, I guess.
Yeah. Right? And I think that looks a lot better than the previous turkey slider they were trying to convince us was okay. Like that looks like a slider I would have for sure.
Yeah. That's the only new thing there that's food. Then we go down to Merry Mashups, where there's a holiday mash bowl, chicken, cheddar mashed potatoes, turkey gravy with cranberry stuffing crunch. That looks pretty good to me, even though I'm not a cranberry person. The rest of that sounds yummy.
What would a cranberry stuffing crunch? Because that's not like cranberry sauce. It's like it's like something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crunchy, but it's got cranberry flavor. I don't know.
But the rest of it sounds delicious.
Okay, well, let's so that's fine. We'll have that. But then M&M's peanut butter fudge cake.
All right.
That just said a lot of words
got my attention.
I'm very interested in. Chocolate fudge cake filled with peanut praline and M&M's peanut butter. Oh, okay. M&M peanut butter minis glazed with salted peanut butter and topped with vanilla chantilly cream. Wow.
Okay.
I am there for that. I want that.
Yeah, I agree.
I love peanut butter. Like anytime you give me anything peanut butter, and then I might have to fight, but like the Yule log and that would actually have to like battle for my attention. But I think this would actually win.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Then we go down to Aunt Cass's Cafe over at California Adventure. There's a pumpkin spice bread pudding with graham cracker crust, topped with pumpkin cheesecake filling, whipped cream, graham cracker crumble, and an espresso brown sugar spice.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big pumpkin fan, as you know, so I think I'd probably be out on this.
Okay, but even because pumpkin spice, I guess, okay, it's got the pumpkin cheesecake, so that's fair. But I was gonna say, like, pumpkin spice is not pumpkin flavor.
I like pumpkin spice, just not pumpkin itself. Yeah,
that's fair. Okay, yeah, I mean, looks good. I like a good bread pudding too. Like, that would be nice. This pizza at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta. It looks really fancy.
It does.
So roasted turkey, or this is their holiday pizza. The roasted turkey with roasted butternut squash, cranberries, arugula, fig jam, and cranberry sauce.
The disappointment in your voice every time cranberries come.
I was so there for it until the give me that without the cranberries.
It's just funny.
Yeah. I was so on board for a minute.
Yeah. Just a minute, though.
You almost had me, guys. Like Disney, you almost had me. But that's fine. So then fine, I'll just go to the Paradise Garden Grill is next, which has, I'm going to butcher this. But
yep, you are, but that's why you're going to read it, not me.
Chilaquiles Carnitas Torta, which is red chilaquiles. I'm not sure what those are, but I'm interested. Refried beans, avocado spread, queso fresco, pickled onions, and a fried egg served with chips.
Interesting.
I do like that. And then also loaded chips as well.
Yes. Chili lime chips smothered in corn kernels, cotija cheese, chili lime seasoning, and crema.
Love cotija cheese. That's so good.
So it's elote off the cob, but on loaded chips. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yep, that's
perfect. Somebody schooled me, by the way, that, and I did not know this, that when you have elote and it's not on the cob, it's called the esquite. So,
got it.
Now I know I know. Thank you for educating me, somebody, whoever did that.
You have to delineate. That's fair.
All right. Yeah. Then we've got over at the cappuccino cart, there's a cinnamon caramel apple bundt cake drizzled with salted caramel and filled with cream cheese frosting. That sounds good. Yeah. It's basic, but I'd eat it.
Yeah, it's still, it's not competing with that peanut butter cake anytime soon, but yeah, it seems okay. I'm still back at the peanut butter cake.
you stop there and you never recover.
Yeah.
They've also churros. There's a popcorn tin churro, which it's so funny that this just came up. I was just talking to my wife before the podcast about the old popcorn tins, and I'm assuming this is the thing you had in Canada too.
We do get those.
Yeah, the big tin with like 3 varieties of popcorn in it. My grandma always used to buy them for me, and ever since she passed away, I don't get them anymore, and I want it back. I used to love those things.
So Scouts up here sells them for us. I don't know if it's the case for you down there.
I haven't seen them.
Okay, so because we'll actually have like Scouts will come by, like, they go door to door, and you can order a tin, and then they'll bring it. You place the order, and then a couple of weeks later, you get a tin arrives, and it's exactly that. You got 3 different flavors of popcorn, and it's all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So they're offering this up as a churro, which is different.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. It's white cheddar popcorn dust and caramel sauce topped with buttered popcorn. That's
sweet and savory.
Yeah. I actually just ate some popcorn that was a mix of white cheddar and caramel popcorn. It was like a mixed one, and the salty and sweet. It was pretty good.
People underestimate mixing the I've learned that over time too. We talked earlier about like making your own popcorn is mixing the sweet and salty actually is way better than you realize. Even if it's like people would think like cheddar popcorn doesn't work, but it actually does.
Yeah. Then we'll move down here really quickly. I don't think we need to talk about this Clarabelle's one, but I'm just looking at this Mexican grill one with the fried arroz con leche, rolled in cinnamon sugar, served with a dulce de leche whip and a dulce de leche drizzle.
That's a lot of dulce de leche.
It's a lot of dulce de leche. But
I wonder how many times we can say dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche. I can only say it once fast. I've already screwed it up. Okay. Over at Corn Dog Castle, you got a holiday stuffing corn dog dipped in seasoned corn batter, fried to golden brown, and topped with cranberry mustard sauce. So I'm guessing the outside is just is like stuffing ish. Is that what they're saying? I mean,
sure.
Why not?
I'm still only questioning that. Like, I feel like the cranberry mustard sauce would be good because, again, it's not like full on cranberries. It's just that flavor. But Corn Dog Castle corn dogs are fantastic. So adding holiday stuffing to the flavor, I think you're going to want one of those. You'll know when you go to Disneyland, you're going to try the corn dogs, and you're going to just be so blown away by how different they are than the ones in
the ones there.
Florida. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go down now to Smoke Jumper's Grill here. The hearty loaded fries, crinkle cut fries smothered with sausage country gravy, topped with fried chicken, shredded cheese, and green onions.
Is it really fries when you're getting like chicken and gravy? I mean, I guess it is still loaded fries.
Yeah,
it's just
loaded fries. Yeah,
I feel like I'm more there for the chicken and the gravy than the fries at that point. But,
I'm here for all of it. I would.
Fair.
You talk about going back for seconds. That's a go back for seconds for me.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
This one,
and
total.
I do have to point out the Santa hat shake with the marshmallow and coconut rim.
It's kind of cool.
It's trying to look like a Santa hat, but it actually doesn't look all like it. The Santa hat looks a little sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
We tried.
Yeah.
But I see where you're at Studio Catering Company.
Yeah, because I looked ahead and I was like, oh, this is the Trevor one right
Korean
here.
fried chicken slider. Oh yes. Korean fried chicken topped with gochujang sauce. Ooh, it's spicy. That's good. Kimchi, coleslaw, and pickled onions served on sweet Hawaiian bread. Yep. I will take 3 of those.
Yeah, please give me a couple of those and I will come back for more later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
They look pretty small though. They're sliders. So
yeah, you get, you have a light breakfast, you get 2, and then, lunch, you have 3, and then you have 3 at dinner.
I think we should wrap up on this one. We'll save the other Disneyland treats for next week. And because there's a whole huge list of things.
There is. Yeah. There's a lot of Disney. Yeah. So specifically at the Disneyland Resort. So it's, stay tuned for that. We'll be talking more food next week.
Yeah. So I hope everybody enjoyed Food Time. I know it's making me want to go to Disney and eat many things, but I'm not going to be this year, so that's unfortunate for me.
But the interesting thing about it is, just talking about it and looking through it, it does actually affect, like, I'm going to be thinking about for dinner, I may go get some Korean barbecue now because we were talking about it.
Just because you heard, I get that.
Yeah, it's funny, talking about this stuff does actually affect, outside of Disney what I go looking for. So yeah, it's
sense.
Even if you can't get to Disney, there is still merits in talking about it.
I agree. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap her up.
Okay, so. As usual, if you guys have any questions about anything you heard on the show, or if you want to share your own trip report like Miranda did with us at the beginning of the show, you can always reach us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys and just hearing your thoughts on the show and all that kind of stuff. Similarly, you can also find us on social media. So you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. And you can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Picks. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you check out our group, which is Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, that we have all kinds of great conversations about, things about the show that people love talking about. People will share their own experiences. People will ask for help in there, like we talked about. We even put out, an ask for people who do Disney travel. And we have a lot of people in the group that do Disney travel, which is great to see. And so there's lots of great people in our group that can help you with figuring out your own Disney adventures, because we all have our own ways of doing Disney, but it's great for everybody to talk about it. So that's why we have the group. So please check that out. And if you want to help support the show, you can always go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. You can check out our different merch. We got t-shirts and mugs. Maybe if you're looking for hey, Christmas is coming up. Maybe you're looking for some Christmas gifts for somebody who listens to the show. It's great time to pick up some stuff. And similarly, we also have a Patreon that you can get merch from. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod. Check out our different levels of Patreon support that have different merch. And the Patreon merch is exclusive. You can't get it in the store. So if you like the Patreon logo, just you can check out what we've got on there. And also our Patreon listeners get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we talk about the show, talk about things that we come up because of the show. I should mention to you, Tom, I'll see about hooking you up with some Canadian Smarties, because that did come up in the Discord that, we talked about it on the last show. So, we'll have to get you some Canadian Smarties so you can see what the hype's all about. So
I did so much research about those after the show last week. I like went really deep into the internet on how this happened.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing, but yeah, like I said, you'll get your chance to have Canadian Smarties at some point.
Canadian Smarties, yeah.
So.
Do you think they're better than M&M's, Trevor? Or you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll always take Smarties over M&M's.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, so yeah, back to wrapping up the show. Last but not least, if you are listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, or really any platform where you can leave a rating on the show, leave us a 5-star rating, because that does help more people find the show. And we like knowing what you guys think about the show. I guess even if you don't want to leave us 5 stars. Let us know what you think. If you're on iTunes or, wherever that you can write us a review, we love seeing those as well. We love, hearing what you guys think about the show, because that's, that's good feedback for us, and, great for us to think about, as we keep doing the show for, hopefully another 11 years so we can get to Damon's retirement.
I mean, if you want to give me a Christmas gift this year, the best Christmas gift is a 5-star review. So there
you go. We need 5-star reviews under the Christmas tree.
There you go. Yes. Please.
Wrapped in a pretty little bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Please do that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any place you can find podcasts, you can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. And if you write Welcome Home Disney, by the way, we are the very first result that comes up on pretty much everywhere, every search engine. So just type in Welcome Home Disney, we'll pop right up. So, yeah. Wait, but if you just type in Welcome Home, you're going to have a hard time finding us. You just you do Welcome Home Disney. You'll find us immediately. So just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. As such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC cast member or regular cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsor of this episode, DVC Resale Market, but also World of DVC for continuing to support this show over the many, many years that we've done it now. They've been a great partner, so please check them out for your DVC needs. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl, eating